you're asking me like I would.
I feel like you know it.
Arrachal León.
Leon.
Sermolus doa Bistiza Gardner Village.
How?
This is wonderful.
How are you living in Gardnerville? How's life in Gardnerville?
How's life going in Gardnerville? Specifically, how is life going in Gardnerville? This verb, this is a synthetic verb. What they're called is trinkoak, a synthetic verb. And this is the verb of yuan, right? So the synthetic verb of yuan, noa, ni noa, susoas, ioa, bera doa, right? It is going. Ni noa, I am going. Susoas, you are going. Bera doa is going, right? It is going, right? Isitza is life, right? So, right, we know sermolus, I roughly explained that, sermolus, it doesn't specifically mean how are you, right? That's how it's used. They say sermolus, right? But there's nothing about it that is specifically about you, right? And that's how it's easily changed to say sermolus ashtea, how is the week? Sermolus eguna, how is your day, right? It's a little bit of an infinitive. It doesn't have that hard meaning of how are you doing, right? And so this is how it's said. How is it going? How is life going in Gardnerville, right? And this was interesting to me that he used this, Sermolus doa Bisitza Gardnerville, because that's kind of a peculiar linguistic feature, how we say that. How is life going, right? It doesn't mean, we use going for many different things. Going is a verb in action of, to be going, physically moving, right? And that's kind of a hard translation when you use it in that sense of how is life going, right? How is life moving on for you? How is, and so it's interesting that it's the same thing in Basque. Sermolus doa Bisitza Gardnerville.
So doa is going.
Going. It is going.
It is going.
Right. He, she, him, her, it is going. He is going, she is going, it is going, right? Sermolus doa Bisitza Gardnerville. This was just nice. I figured you guys might like this, right? Yeah.
Would you have to use Gardnerville, or could you just drop Gardnerville?
Yeah, how's life going? Sermolus doa Bisitza. Right. But, because he's over there, he asked me, how's it going in Gardnerville, right? Questions about that?
Cool.
It's cool. That's a nice one. I haven't heard that before. I like that. Okay, so the ones that I just gave you.
How did you answer, by the way?
So I answered with, I said, I think I said Oshono Doa, right? It's going well. It's going very well. And then I said Lanetalan Banya Ondo Nabil, which is like a lot of work, but I'm getting along well. Ondo Nabil. Another Trinkoa for Ibili. Nabil it's kind of tricky. It means like to walk, but they use it to like be about, like be out and about. Also just like getting along, like if somebody asks you how it is at work, like somebody says, where are you, right? At home you say Etíen Nago, right? But if you're at work, you say Lanean Nabil, right? You don't say Lanean Nago, because that implies a sedentary, it's stationary. It's a state of being, but it just means you're at work. And they always do that, like at work doing nothing, right? When you're at work, Lanean Nabil is like I'm about at work, right? I'm doing at work, It's an interesting, Basque is like that, It's specific, right? They cut off all the fat, the verb matters, right? And so the ones I gave you, personal pronouns, this is a little more introduction, I've already given you guys, ni nice, e ice, susada. We've all been exposed to that, right? This is a further breakdown. We're just going to look into this for a little bit. I hope it opens you guys up to what's going on here. because, you know, it just takes you beating that into your head, you know, and learning how to use it before you really come to terms with it. So I did my best to try to explain this. I know there's a lot of words on this paper. But yeah, I gave you guys this one, right? Personal pronouns, right? And so now, each time that I've given you that list, ni nice, ice, susada, always put it up together, right? Ni nice, ice, right? And what this does is it breaks it down. Those things are really two different things. Ni, su, suek, beda, hayek. Those are personal pronouns, just like they are in English, right? I, me, you plural, they, us, he, she, him, her, right? And then what the nice, ice, sada, gara, sarete, dida are the auxiliary verbs, right? So what you're dealing with here is personal pronouns and auxiliary verbs, right? That's what they are. And this is an interesting little breakdown. It explains that originally in Euskara, there were only 6 personal pronouns. Suek did not exist, suek, you plural. So to say you, right, it was ika, it was e. E was always you, right? There was no su, there was no suek, right? Su was used for you plural, right? So it was e for su, right? And su for suek, right? And then it says around the Middle Ages, Basque began adopting some things from surrounding languages and started using su as a formal addressment of you, right? And then they had to adopt suek for you plural, right? So it changed. That's just an interesting little, you know, anecdote. This is a really wonderful book, and I'm not concerned about like using this stuff and posting it, because this book and the Basque Language, they're both available free online. You can download every single page into PDFs and print them out just like this. So, you know, it is what it is, right? And then it comes down here and it says, right, it gives you a brief introduction to the declination of personal pronouns, right? Ni, I, me is the nominative, right? Needy is to me, right? Needy, to me. Neek is I, right? With the ergative suffix of the K, right? Nidakin, with me. We've kind of seen that, right? Nidakin, akin, right? Sudakin, right? And so what I tried to do is I tried to just break some of this down a little bit, right? The personal pronouns of Euskara are as listed. As the use of ika is not consistent throughout Eskuleria, the 6 pronouns you must learn to master Euskara are the 6 from ni to hayek with the omission of e, right? The declination of personal pronouns are shown and are quite similar to the use of declination in English, although the form is entirely different due to the agglutinative nature of Euskara, right? It's the same thing for declining in English, right? Where you say to me, right? For me, from me, about me, with me, right? It's a declination, right? In Euskara, because it agglutinates, which means it adds it to the end of the word, right? It's not a separate word. Needy, N-I-R-I, is to me, right? Nidakin is with me. Nidaz is about me. Niretsat is for me, right? You guys following? This is interesting stuff. This is, you know, this is where it goes. This is just, I'm just exposing you guys to it, and you're gonna go home and look back over this, right? And then what I really wanted to do was, what I break down here is getting into the auxiliary verbs, which is nice, ice, sada, gara, sarete, dida, right? And Robert inspired me because of how he incorrectly said something. And I wanted to do my best to explain why that's incorrect and why this matters and why it's different, okay? So, arguably one of the most interesting and challenging aspects of Euskara in comparison to English, is the regular omission of the personal pronouns when spoken or written due to the incredibly versatile nature of a wide variety of auxiliary verbs, verb conjugations, including a set of verbs which do not exist in English known as synthetic verbs, which contain not only the information of who, I, me, you, etc., but also the action of the verb all in one word, with addition of a variation of Z to add plurality. These are the examples. Noah, I am going. Doa, it is going. This is a synthetic verb. This verb is it is going. That's what that means, right? Noah, I am going. Nator, I am coming. Nator. Dakit, I know. Daukat, I have. With an example of the plurality of that dauskat, with the Z included in it. Dauskat means I have plural, right?
Oh.
Right? You see that? Yeah.
Yes.
So I've explained to you guys how you say my age, right? Ogeta la urte ditut, right? That ditut is nor, right? That means I have 24 years, right? That's plural. I can say, right? Ni tragobat dut. I have a drink, one drink, dut. But 24 years is ditut, right? It's plural. Same thing here. I can say, Ogeta la urte dauskat. Dauskat. I have 24 years, right? Right? Manya burubat daukat. I have one head. Right? Daukat, dauskat. This is all, I'm just giving it to you guys, okay? You can only run from it for so long. It's gonna come knocking, okay? Are you guys with me? At least following what it is I'm talking about. You don't have to be comprehending. The comprehension will come later. This is just the exposure, right? So what Robert said to me, he was trying to say, I love you, right? Maite saitut. And he said, ni maite su, right? That's the direct translation in English, right? I love you. That's how we say it. We use the personal pronouns with the verb of love, and that means I love you, right? Ni maite su is incorrect in Basque. And this is a fundamental aspect of Euskara. This is what makes Basque so different. The auxiliary verb is crucial in this, okay? Can you see over there, Deacon?
Yeah.
Okay. How to say I love you, right? This is same thing, directly across, right? Me, I, maite, love, su, you, right? In Basque, we've gone over this. Maite, saitut. Can anybody tell me what this saitut means? What the features of this are? Where is you and where is I in this verb?
I is the T at the end.
Yep, I is the T at the end. Exactly. This is I. And what is saitut?
You.
You. Okay? This is crucial, right? The personal pronouns in Basque exist and are used. But Basque is a language of verbs. These personal pronouns are used in a different way when they are used, okay? And this brings us to the final portion, the largest chunk, the scariest part of this that I'm giving you. Does everybody have one of these? Yeah, this one?
Mhm.
Follow along. It's really, I'm going to read it. It's better for you to look at this. You can look at this. You can look at the subsequent 2 pages and just listen to me read this. This is all my own explanation. I'm really trying to articulate what is going on here, okay? In English, it is impossible to omit the personal pronoun, for without I, am going not only makes no sense, but it has no relevance. You guys understand that, right? We cannot say am going. That does not make any sense. It's irrelevant, right? It doesn't have the relevance of what is going, right? We have the ability to say I'm, right, which is the combination of I and am, right? But you cannot just say am going, right? Nor can you say I going, right? It's I am going, right? That is the use of the personal pronoun I. That is ni, right? In addition, we use phonetic stress to emphasize I or am going, which thus changes the meaning, right? I am going. I'm going, right? You're emphasizing two different things on that, right? When you say, I am going. When somebody asks, who's going? I am going, right? Or I'm going. When somebody says, you getting out of here? Yeah, I'm going, right? It's phonetic stress. It's raising your voice, which adds emphasis in English. That's how we do it, right? In Euskara, because the auxiliary verb not only contains all relevant information, but is fundamental to the structure of the sentence, example given, while personal pronouns are permitted to be and quite regularly omitted, the auxiliary verbs are for all intents and purposes always mandatory. You guys follow what I mean by that, right? You guys understand omission? To omit. To omit means to leave out, to not say, right? That's why this is omission. This is omitting me and omitting su. When you just say maite saitut, right? But this verb, this auxiliary verb saitut, cannot be omitted. It is mandatory, right? You cannot just include these and leave this out, right? But you can leave these out and include this. This is mandatory, right? Follow what I'm saying? This is the difference, right? We don't have these auxiliary verbs in English. All we have are the personal pronouns, right? And so that idea of omission is something else to us. We don't necessarily, that's a bit of a leap to come to understanding with what's going on in Euskara in that sense, right? In Euskara, because the auxiliary verb not only contains all relevant information, the auxiliary verb containing all the relevant information, I and you, right? But is fundamental to the structure of the sentence. Phonetic stress is not used to add emphasis, but rather the commission of personal pronouns, right? Omission and commission, right? Omission is removing, and commission is putting forth, right? So instead of using phonetic stress, they don't just say to really emphasize I or you, they don't just yell this, right? How we do in English. I love you, or I love you, or I love you, or I love you, right? You guys all understand those differences, right?
Mm-hmm.
The emphasis, it matters, right? In Euskara, this is the commission of personal pronouns. This is how they use these personal pronouns, right? Because these are so regularly omitted, because they're not necessary, because all of the relevant information is contained in the auxiliary verb. The commission, the addition, the use of these personal pronouns adds emphasis, okay? Maite saitut, I love you, is emphasized in English with phonetic stress added to the I or you or love, depending on what is sought to be emphasized. However, in Euskara, emphasis on either I or you is achieved through the commission of nik or su to maite saitut. Nik maite saitut, or su maite saitut, or nik su maite saitut, right? Nik maite saitut means I'm emphasizing myself. I'm saying I love you. It's I who loves you, right? Or su maite saitut is the emphasis on you. I'm saying it's you who I love. I love you, right? Or nik su maite saitut is just like in English, I love you. It's emphasis on both parties, right? Are you guys following me?
Yeah.
Is this interesting?
Yes.
Okay. Because this is really cool stuff to me. Like and again, this is all my explanation. You know, this is how I've come to understand it. And this is taking what I've learned and attempting to articulate it in even more depth than any of these books will give you, right? And so I hope I'm making some sort of impact with this. I hope it's at least becoming, tangible. In English, it is merely the order of words / personal pronouns which determines from who to whom the action takes place. I love you only changes meaning to you love me when the personal pronouns change place, right? That's the only difference, right? I love you, you love me, completely different meanings, right? And it's just I am here, you are here, and then you comes here, and I go here, right? On either side of love, right? I love you, you love me, right? There's nothing changes except the order, right? In Euskara, a direct translation would be ni maite su, right? Which is what I explained. That's what Robert's ni maite su. But this is simply incorrect, makes no sense, and is atrocious to the beauty of the language. For Euskara is not English. It's not English, and is rich with incredibly versatile and useful grammatical tools such as the auxiliary verb. Saitut contains I, you, in the same sense of I love you, I see you, I understand you, philosophically, not in the sense of understanding what you were talking about. While nausu is you, me, in the exact same sense. Now, the awareness that the order of love and I, you is strange to the English speaker, I encourage you to critically think about which indeed makes more sense. For I, you means nothing without love, yet love is sandwiched between the two almost as a second thought. While in Euskara, love, the central idea being articulated, is first in order of the phrase, with only additional emphasis on either I or you through commission of nik or su, placing the idea of love, maite, within the center of the phrase. And I know I'm saying a lot. I mean, if you go back and read this 100 times, you'll read it slow, right? Additionally, rather than simply reversing the order of the personal pronouns to reverse direction of action, the entire auxiliary verb changes. Saitut, saitu, you, T is me, I, changes to now su. Now is me, su is you. Notice the peculiarity of this order. Directly translated, it reads as love you, I, or love me, you. Right? Questions about this? I'm just so giddy to share this stuff with you guys. Any questions? A thought?
Last week you explained that in the kids class,
Yeah.
right? Like they said, I think one of my boys asked about why isn't it the black dog instead of the dog is black, right?
You're right.
And you were saying that we always say the most important thing first.
Right.
And I think that does help to think of that. Like if maite is the most important
Absolutely.
part of it, then that makes sense that then goes first.
Absolutely.
So it kind of helps you understand why you're translating it backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very easy. I mean, I remember looking at Maite Saitu going, how does that mean I love you? Just how, right? And I mean, it seems just like you're looking at a blurry picture. Like you just go, how, right? And I don't see it, right? And when you break it down and when you start looking at it and finding each piece and not just looking at it and going, look, I have no idea how it means that, right? But looking at it and going, oh no, I fundamentally understand this. I comprehend what is occurring here. I understand that maite means love, and I understand that saitu means I, you, right? the picture becomes less blurry, right? And you begin to see how this, it goes across the board. Maite saitu, I love you, right? This isn't always incredibly handy. I mean, it is. And it's a beautiful thing to say, right? But maite now su. Maite now su. Do you love me? Right? Or ikusten saitut. I see you. Ikusten saitut. Ikusten now su. Do you see me? Right? Ulertzen saitut. I understand you. Not what you're saying. This changes. Ulertzen saitut is how we say, like, I understand you as a person. You know, I've known each other. I've known you my whole life. I understand you, right? You know, you guys understand the difference. Rather than when somebody's speaking to you, and they go, you know, and you go, yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you. I understand what you're saying. He uses a different auxiliary, but this is wonderful stuff. Ikusten nausu, gogoratzen nausu. Do you remember me? Right? I found myself saying that more than a few times over there. When I'd run into somebody from the last time, and they don't recognize me. Gogoratzen nausu. Do you remember me? Right? This is higher level stuff, but this is not out of your grasp. And if you can actually say that, if you can actually have comprehension about what's going on here, you're able to use it. And it's, you know, if you can say maite saitu and know what that means, it means you have an understanding about what this auxiliary verb means, right? Questions?
So, you know, you made a good point. Remember when we were doing the all of us, and we could say it this way or that way or that way or that way? The one thing I've learned is whatever I'm emphasizing, whether it be a mountain or it's a tree or whatever, that's going to be my first word. It'll get it right. Even if I put it on the other end, it'll still be right. It'll be proper on the front. Right, Etienne?
Yep. Exactly. It comes first, right? And like in the kids class, Alex said that last time. He said, you know, why is it backwards? Why is it chakura velsa? Why is it dog black? And I said, it's not backwards. It's backwards in English. They say it correctly. And this is what they will always say because they've been asked it millions of times. They go, why is it backwards? And they go, no, you guys say it backwards. You guys say black first. Black what? Black what? White what? Fast what? Slow what? Cold what? Right? No, the dog is black, right? It's a black dog. Chakura velsa. Egun beroa. It's a hot day. The day is hot, right? And it's like, you know, that becomes very trivial when you really come to terms with what's going on in Euskara. It really does. Those things where you think about it and you go, you know, and I mean, I was telling it to Philippe's father, you know, I said, I prefer to speak Basque than English. I've come to where it's like, I don't speak it fluently by a long shot, but I absolutely prefer to speak it with somebody rather than English, you know. If you know half English and I know half Basque, let's just do all Basque. I'll struggle, you know, through that. We don't have to go to, you know, and it's for those reasons. The practicality of it becomes, you know, very clear. So again, what I was really trying to do with those packets, giving you the thing on the personal pronouns and the auxiliary verbs, is because I've been giving you these together, and they are together. They are innately tied, right? But they are not the same thing. And I think if you understand that they are separate, although connected, the aspect of omission will be a little easier to understand, right? Me, all of these are personal pronouns. This is just how it is in English, right? I, you, we, him, he, she, they, us, right? And these are auxiliary verbs. This is am. are, is, are. But this is I in parentheses. This is I am. You in parentheses are. We in parentheses are. Right? It in parentheses is. You in parentheses are. You plural. They in parentheses are. Right? And so it carries the full meaning of I am, you are, we are, right? But that's what can be kind of tricky about it in English, is if you see these together and you go, this means I am, me nice. When you try to omit, and when you see things omitted, you go like, okay, this means I know that, and this means am. But if this isn't here, is it just am, right? And no, this is I am. It is, right?
So could you say damasa nice?
Damasa nice.
Instead of ni, damasa nice?
Absolutely. And again, that comes to when you say ni, you are actually adding emphasis to yourself. You're saying, in a classroom of people, and somebody comes in and says, Norda damasa, who is damasa? Ni damasa nice. I am damasa, right? Or if you're just in a casual encounter and you introduce yourself to somebody, I always say Etíen nice. Always, Etíen nice. I'm Etíen, right? No extra emphasis on anything. Or ni Etíen nice, it can be a little more formal, right? But absolutely. It's just, I just want you guys to understand that these auxiliary verbs are everything in Basque. And the personal pronouns do not carry, they are not used the same way we use. These are all we have in English. All we have is the personal pronoun, right? I am going, I was there, I'm eating, I left, I said, and in Basque, that I, and a lot of those, the whole verb, that Noah, I am going. It's the whole thing, and that is I am going, right? Without the ni, doesn't have that personal pronoun. All of the information is contained in the auxiliary verb, right? Questions about this?
What does dira mean again?
Dira, hayek dira, they are.
Yeah.
Yep, they are.
To run through all neat, nice, I am,
Yep.
ice,
Ice, you are. Intimate.
gara,
Gugara, we are.
we are, okay,
Berara, he, she, him, her, it is.
is,
It literally means that one.
oh,
That one.
So who in here is it?
Huda? Right, so in that one, yeah. And so this is a thing, there's two of them. Huda, just like that in the distance, spelled exactly the same. Huda, right? And Bera. Both of them are he, she, him, her, or it. Both of them, right? Arra Chaldeon. Ucha. Itasu, bueno, ucha. And so Huda or Bera, both of them are used he, she, him, her, or it is. Susara, you are. Suexarete, you plural are. Hayekdira, they are.
So the hi and the su, what's the difference when you use?
The what?
Inais, irais.
Iais.
Susana.
Susana, right. This is intimate. This is when you personally know somebody. This is intimately. It's it's not really that difficult of a concept. We just don't have anything like it in English, so it is. Until you go and see it, or like you really come to your own understanding about what's going on with it, it's kind of tricky, because in English there's just you, right? There's no other way to say you, right? In Basque, this is spoken, parents will speak this to kids. You are not su, you don't say alpa su, right? You say alpai, right? To your child, right? This is your family, right? Siblings of the same age will speak it to each other. It's known as ika. Everything else is known as suka, because su is used, susara is used. It's formal, right? Ika is very intimate, right? And it's got a lot of different things going into it, because it comes down nowadays where you either live in a place where there's a culture of it and it's spoken, or there's not. Like in Donosti, they don't really speak Ika, not in a greater sense. But you go into these smaller villages, and everybody will speak Ika to you, right?
So the parents, they speak Ika.
They speak Ika to their kids.
But their kids are speaking Su.
Kids speak Suka to your parents. It's out of respect. It's a cultural thing. It's a tradition of it.
But yet they'll turn with their own
siblings.
age,
They speak
siblings, and
Ika.
they speak
Yeah.
Ika.
They speak Ika with each other. Siblings of the same age. If a sibling is much older, they don't really speak Ika with each other. It'll just be Suka, right? Close friends, close associates. If you really know. In rare cases, or it's not super common, but couples, right? They'll opt to speak. They'll speak Ika. I'm just giving you guys it. I get, like I said on the first thing of that, because Ika is not consistent throughout Euskara in use. You don't have to mind it. You don't. These are the 6 you want to learn. Ni, gu, bera, su, suek, hayek. And you can forget about E. Like most of the Basque teachers I know, the few that work in Donosti, they do not speak Ika. And they tell me how difficult it is. They go, wow, it's so difficult. Because not only does, not only does every verb changes in Ika. Every single verb, right? So instead of eguraldi charra egiten du, it changes to something like eguraldi charra egiten dik, right? That's Ika, right? Every verb changes. It's for another day.
Much later on.
Yeah. How you guys feeling?
Good.
How is this, Levi? Yeah, you like it? This is, it seems like you're right in the middle of something, and you kind of are, but we're moving, slowly throughout. How is this feeling, Alex? Different, huh? Yeah. It's okay. You gotta remember, right? This is your second class, right? It's just the slow exposure. You just keep at it. You keep at it over time. This will become nothing to you. You'll know this like the time of day. I mean, it just becomes, you see it so much. If you just expose yourself to it and see it, try to understand it, it will eventually blossom into something. And I was thinking about that today, when I first went over there, or this last time, that first month that I was there, I had an incredibly difficult time understanding people, I was learning stuff in class, and I was trying to advance my ability to speak, and I was, right? But I had a difficult time speaking with, or understanding people speaking to me at a higher level, right? And then by the end of the 3rd month, even by the end of the 2nd month, it just became, I would find myself sitting there listening to somebody speak to me, understanding all of it. Somebody at a high, in C1 speaking to me. And I remember it I thought I was fooling myself. I had this moment where I was like, okay, now it seems like too easy. I've just been struggling with this thing for so long, having very hard comprehension with people that truly speak it. And now I'm sitting here and you're talking to me. I don't have the vernacular to respond at your level, but I am understanding everything. I'm recognizing that you're using the second conditional of could. right? And I understand that you're using the la because you said I think, like, you know, and I'm going, wait, I'm actually understanding this in Basque. I'm not having to translate it. They're speaking to me. I'm understanding what they're saying to me. And I was like, then, you know, you get kind of like, it was the immediate afterthought was, oh, Basque isn't difficult. This is easy now. Like all of a sudden it was easy. All of a sudden I was like, these are no longer, like I said, this is a blurry picture, right? This is, you're looking at it going like, fuck. All of a sudden it was just clear as day. And even if I don't understand everything that is said, I'm not just like washed out by the entirety of, you know, the dialogue, where you're just like, you know, I don't even have the slightest clue what he's saying. Then I was like, oh, I absolutely, you know, to full comprehension, right? And so, you know, it took me 4 years, right, of grinding it out, and then that day happens, and then it's like, you know, oh wow, I'm really at this, you know, I really got to this point, you know. So I hope that, you know, encourages you. Any questions? Any questions at all about anything? You guys want to ask me?
I don't really have a question, but I was talking to Becky's dad at the here after the funeral,
Yeah.
and I was asking him how he says how are you,
Yeah.
and he said when he was a kid they always said bye ser diosu,
Yeah.
and then he said they kind of switched to ser malus, and
Yeah.
then he said but then I came here and now I say no la ciudad
No
because
la
I was
ciudad.
around so many French people that I had to start saying no la
Right.
ciudad. So then it made me feel better that I don't know these things because he's a native speaker and he was having
Right.
to change it depending on who he was by.
Absolutely.
And so it kind of he made it seem like it's okay, it's fine.
Absolutely.
It'll change and it'll be it's fine. You can
Absolutely.
say any of those three and somebody will understand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah, and those are encouraging, you know. And it's easy to look at Basque speakers or hear them speak, you know, and just be like, you know, God, I wish I could do that, or you know, it's so difficult, you know. And then, you know, like when you think like that, you know, when it initially confronts you in that sense, there's a real lack of humility with it and a real lack of humanity with it. Where like you look at them like, you know, this is why wars are fought, right? Because people speak another language. I mean, this is where real conflict arises because it's like we don't understand them, you know, and they don't understand us. And we don't realize it, but it's because there's humanity is pulled out of that situation. It's omitted, right? They're just automatically different, right? And then like that's a perfect example where you go like, oh, they learn new things, you know, even in their own language, they get with a different speaker and they learn something new too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know that, right?
Mhm.
Just like you don't know it, right?
Mhm.
And you're on the outside, you know, so it's like that brings humanity into it where it's like, oh no, you know. And I always juxtapose my journey studying and learning Basque with theirs. You know, these 16-year-old, you know, Basque kids, you know, 21 years old, not a lick of English on their tongue, you know, nothing. Coming over here, showing up, you know, in Nevada, a place that might as well be Mars to where they come from, you know, they come from paradise, you know, rolling green hills, lusciousness, this incredibly rich culture to the west, you know, and there's nobody with a whiteboard showing them showing them that these are personal pronouns and these are auxiliary verbs. No, they're out there learning, you know, they're learning how to say sheep, you know, they're learning how to say, you know, money. They're learning how to say, you know, food. Like, and you look at them now and you go, you know, fuck, they did it, and sure it's broken, sure it's whatever, but they, you know, they learned it. Like,
Right.
and again, that didn't come out of necessity for how bad did they want it. That comes out of you have no choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You do sink or swim. And I do encourage that mentality, you know.
Yes.
Don't be easy on yourself. I mean, be you know, be nice to yourself, be humble, you know, you got to take it slow because it's going to be a slow process. But don't allow yourself an excuse. You know, don't say, you know, oh, I can you know, it's just a little bit too difficult, you know. Go, what if I had no choice? You know, and pose that. The best way to do that is to go, okay, I'm planning a trip to go to the Basque Country next year. or in 2 years we're going to go over there. I absolutely have to hold myself accountable to when I get over there, I will be able to speak to some degree. I want to be able to tell somebody thank you and understand their response. I want to be able to ask for something. I want to be able to tell somebody I love you and understand their response. You know, these are good goals to have, and they will, when you get over there, you'll thank me. You'll beat yourself up in these classes every Sunday and throughout the weeks, and then you get over there and you go, I am so thankful I did not just stop studying. I'm so thankful. It will come about. Questions?
Sorry I'm late.
It's all right.
I didn't remember 2 o'clock.
It's the, oh yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Siesta.
Esta.
Yeah. Yeah, another one.
Yes.
So Etíen just pounded me for my speaking.
I wrote a whole dialogue. Like,
You did a whole dialogue on mine.
But you know what's so great is that you're trying to put it all together.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's awesome. You're taking
Exactly.
the jump. So I think that's great.
I can blow it in church too.
You did fine.
You guys will like this one. You just said siesta. Right? This is nap in Basque. Lokulushka. Lokulushka. A beautiful, beautiful expression for a nap. Lokulushka. Lokulushka chikibat hartulusu. Did you take a little nap? Chikibat.
So,
A little?
so you went from Kalushka to Hartadusu?
No,
Hartu?
Heart. This is. Did you take? Hartu.
Oh.
Hartu is take. Hartu.
Take a little.
Did you take a little nap?
Well, there's no nap in there.
Lokulushka.
He's adding
Well, up
it.
there, but.
He's adding on to his
When you respond, you say, oh, you added to your sentence.
This is Lokulushka chikibat hartulusu.
Right.
Did you take a little nap?
Right.
It's kind of fun. I mean,
Yeah. In my world, that's important.
Not just yours. That's one sentence you can say once a day for sure, Robert.
Yeah.
Sounds like your brother's no
See, the one thing they like, we got this like right at the beginning, but he keeps coming back, and it's like almost foreign again to us. But then
That's because he gives us a lot
then
of
it's
information.
gets better and better. It's crazy. I had my wife give me a test.
Yeah? How'd you do?
C minus.
That's pretty good.
I was proud. I didn't flunk,
That's really good.
but I had just studied,
Yeah.
and she took it,
Yeah.
scrambled.
Yeah. So we're doing that flashcard app,
Yeah.
and my 9-year-old is kicking my butt. And it's really frustrating. Because he hasn't even been in this class, so that's even more frustrating for him. Because he's like, I'll means this, I'll mean that. I'm like, stop clicking it. I don't know that. Say hard.
how we doing?
Real good.
Did I just ruin your day with the first thing we did? Okay.
No, what are you talking about?
Can I just tell you how you brightened my day?
Yeah.
So, yesterday when we took Cam's out, rock salt. And It's Atia, door,
Atea.
Atea. Servino told Ignacio, Atia, whatever, open it. But I understood what he was saying,
Right.
right? Because I was carrying the hams. And he didn't do it. So, or he wasn't fast enough. He wasn't.
Yeah.
I said, I got the door.
Right on.
It was fun. I had to say it in English, but I knew what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah.
You had your
That meant a
moment.
lot. That meant a lot.
Yes.
To know what they were talking about.
Yeah. Very cool.
So we went through this last this chapter of the introductory unit of this one. Okay. Pretty brief.
Okay?
We were talking about this outside.
Yeah, Alex needs one. Could you, why don't you just share? Could you sit next to somebody who has, I don't have one for you either. You have one.
I'll share.
Okay,
Yes. Just want to with both.
Yeah. So, really quick at the end, we were talking about this outside.
Yeah.
Egunon is translated a lot as good morning.
Good
But then
morning.
you said that we don't say arakaldeon until after 3. Do we say egunon until 3?
Right, good question. Nope, so this is.
So we were all asking.
Well, so if it's 4 to 3, I don't know.
I know, I'm in a pickle. 2:59.
We got some money going on this, so.
Yeah.
This is the greeting from midday.
Ugh, there it is. It's another one.
Eguerleon.
Aguardian.
Eguerleon.
How about almost good afternoon?
Yeah, I know. Eguerleon. Yeah.
How do you say that
So-
again? La Kulushka Chikibat Artudusu
Dokulushka Chik-
Guardion.
Eguerleon. Eguerleon means good midday.
So we would only say like egunon in the morning.
Yep.
Then we would switch to eguardion, and then it's arashaldeon, and
it's
then
Gabon.
can you write that
You
down?
don't hear that much, like Jeanette and I were talking. The garon,
Gabon.
gabo.
Gabon.
Gabon.
Gabon. That means good
That's
night.
good evening?
Good evening. Good
Good
night.
evening.
Yeah, or good
Good
night.
night?
You really don't hear that much over there.
Yeah, I mean,
Cause you're.
they absolutely say it. I hear it. I mean, I put it into my vocabulary as much as I could.
Okay.
I heard it just as much as, Arachaleo, Egunon. Yeah, Gabon. It's not always necessarily used as a greeting. Like at night when you say Gabon, when you see somebody, they might use Alpa, Kaisho, right? But then as a to exit, when you're leaving, Gabon, just like we say goodnight,
Same.
Gabon, right. This is interesting. Can you guys can you see where day is?
Yes.
Egu. This is a good one for you. Early. Early means
Eris too.
early, half,
Oh. So half the day.
half, middle,
Okay, now I'm getting into some shit.
half, and early. Early bana.
Oh, jeez.
Early bana. Half each.
Half each?
Half each. Early bana. Early bat niretsa. Daveste early bat suretsa. 1/2 for me, 1/2 for you.
You write that down?
Early bana?
No, the other
No,
one.
yeah, I know you do that. Say what you just said and like.
Yeah. Beste
Erdi
bat
bat.
zuretzat.
Niretzat.
Yeah.
Beste erdi bat zuretzat.
Zuretzat. A half for me, another half for you. One half for me, one more half for you. These are declinations. Etsat, right? Niretsat. For me. Suretsat, for you. Not to you, not from you, for you. Niretzat, oso zaila da euskaraz hitz egitea. For me, it's very difficult to speak euskara. Is that interesting?
Yes. Pretty.
Yeah. I know, no. Every time you think you're like, okay, I'm getting down what I'm learning, oh.
Mess this up again.
You turn the
Etíen.
page and you go, I'm on page 4. And it's nonstop, you know? But that's what's so exciting, you know? The thing about learning a language for me that I've come to realize and I've come to really enjoy is it is an unattainable goal. It is a goal so high that you can do nothing but
Learn.
endlessly pursue it.
Yeah.
And that's a great goal to have because there's nothing fun about reaching the goal. The fun is in the process. The fun is in the journey, right? The end goal doesn't even exist. There is no such thing. You know? People ask me if I'm fluent. Like, not a chance. I'm not fluent in English.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
can all speak it, but I mean, if I wanted to go and get a doctorate in English studies, I mean, you know, you guys see it. You listen to people, very intelligent people. They use a vocabulary that is just completely, you know, it's in a different realm to us, right? And we can understand it because we've been around so much English. But I mean, you look up English words all the time. You go, well, what's that? You know, there is fluency is, you know, comprehension. Yeah, can you comprehend? Yeah, can you speak? Can you get along in a conversation? Sure, but it's like it's never ending. You're never gonna get to where, oh, you know, like in English, I believe there's like what is it? There's like 100,000 words in English. Or no, there's hundreds of thousands of words. However it is, right? But they say there's the average person passively knows 50,000 words, right? Yeah, passively, which means they don't use, right? But they have a vocabulary of about 50,000 words. They actually use, the average person actually uses like 25,000 words, right? There's more than 25,000 words in the dictionary, right? And so when you realize, and in Basque, that dictionary is like 5 times that big. I mean, there was a point in Euskara where there was 100 different words for butterfly. Different words.
Right.
Because it's so old. Basque is such an old language, right? It, you know, it's, I mean, it's true, like Basque is, right? Basque is or a language is, you know, like the physical or, you know, the mental accumulation of time.
Right.
I mean, truly. That's what geography is. This is all philosophical shit, but I mean, this is where I'm coming to you from. That's what mountains are. That is the physical collection of time. When you have so much time, it literally just piles on top of itself. I mean, that's what it is, right? That's what a language is. The longer a language has been around, right? It's just gonna be bigger. It has more weight to it, right? Which is, it's wonderful. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Right? Questions?
God damn.
I know. And there's actually some poetry about that, the butterfly thing, where it's like, you know, because they, you know, they struggle with this over there, you know, and that's what I really encourage about the language, why this is really important to do, at least pursue, because you might be Basque, you might be from Basque heritage, you might have family over there. You do not even begin to understand the dynamic of the Basque region, of the people, of any of it, until you begin to understand the language. And once you do, once you're able to speak it, once you're able to understand it, it completely changes. Your view about what it is over there is completely different. And they have these internal struggles with the loss of the language, with this desire to preserve it, to spread it, to hold on to it. And, you know, like there's a poem that I read was like, you know, how come before we had 100 words for butterfly and now just one? You know, who's responsible, right? Those you know, who never learned it, or those who refuse to speak it, you know? All these things, these very philosophical, you know, this is not just a passive endeavor. I mean, it means a lot, you know, which is, you know, it should inspire you. So, we'll get into this packet if you guys want. Try to tone it down. Because this is really great. This is chapter 1 of this. This is the introductory unit. And we're on page 5. And right away, he gets into a synthetic verb.
Epa is a synthetic verb.
No, page 5.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Next one.
You want to go over the first two?
Yeah, we can.
I'm sorry.
We can.
I missed class.
You guys do recall the dialogue out of this, correct?
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have read it at home. I encourage you to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. This whole dialogue, this beginning dialogue, contains incredible amounts of the language. You know, very simple conversation, right? Do you want to just? Should we read this first? Read it again?
Yes, please.
Yeah. The introductory unit. I'm going to start it, and then we'll go around, and you guys keep the conversation going to each other, okay? I'll be going to you.
Yes.
Epa,
Egunon. Like this should be
Ongi,
Check out, okay. Nan dago sura laguna.
nun,
Noon, sorry.
Yep.
Noon.
Etíen dago.
nora soas,
Nora soas.
yep, orain,
Echera ekasu.
Sura Toshara Nereri Orosan Dago es
sure echea,
Sura
ere, groshen agores,
Bye. Surekim Yango. Nice.
juango,
No, you next. Koberekim.
coche arekin, etorri
Coche.
sara.
Oh, shit. Coche. Coche Erekim Etorri Sara. Es buenas. See?
Yeah, say es oñez,
Buenas.
oñez. I'll say it first and you say it after, okay?
no, you got it.
Now,
Bye.
el carrequín juango gara, oshondo,
Elerki,
ederki, iyarki,
Say the last one.
iyarki.
Ayarki?
They say it all, like that's,
We don't say
real-
aderki?
no, they do, ederki.
Oh, I was like, I'm
But,
practicing it
like,
wrong.
in a real colloquial, like in Lascaux. Iyarki,
Ayarki.
iyarki,
Yarki.
iyarki.
That's
Yarki.
intense.
Yeah, it completely changes it. Ederki.
Yeah, better.
Ederki. Yeah, it's kind of a fun word. It's-
Yarki.
Yeah. And
You know what? That was cool.
that was good.
Everybody did.
I know, and I apologize. I am really trying to work to get the classes to be speaking more like that.
But you
Rather
just
than
did.
me, I know, just getting up here and yelling, because that's really the most beneficial thing is to
Mhm.
practice speaking. You know, again, this is the 8th class. We'll get to a point where maybe I calm down.
Maybe by class 10.
Good
You'll
luck.
feel like you got a good foundation
Yeah,
there.
and you know these
Good luck.
these phonetic these lessons on how to say the words, they're beneficial, right? But the best way to do it, you know, you isolating sounds is like, okay, I understand that TX means cha, right?
Right.
But then when I see chakura,
Right,
I'm like, you know, that's more than just the cha,
right,
right?
right. It's hard.
And that's the best thing to do is listening to sounds. I mean, listening to the words. So what we'll do is I'll read all of these words. I'm going to read all of these, okay? One by one. I'm going to say them, and you're all going to say them, okay?
In the
To
dialogue?
practice. Yeah,
Okay.
right here. No, the read out loud.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to just go down the list, okay?
Oh, okay.
And do your best not to think about it.
Okay.
Hear how I say it. And just like a child, replicate it. I mean, that's just do your best to say it how I say it, okay? Bye.
Bye.
Gabe.
Gabe.
Tenda.
Tenda.
Adin.
Adin.
Familia.
Familia.
Alfer.
Alfer.
Emen.
Amen.
Nai.
Nai.
Cafe.
Café.
Nekatu.
Nekatu.
Lore.
Lore.
Mutil.
Mutil.
Maite.
Maite.
Su. Sorry.
Aisu. Ume.
Ume.
Polit.
Polit.
Epa.
Epa.
Toki.
Toki.
Aita.
Aita.
Garbi.
Garbi.
Gero.
Gero.
Egun.
Egun.
Han.
Han.
Yan.
Yan.
Laranja.
Naranja.
Laraña.
Araña.
Nola.
Nola.
Lan.
Lan.
Hondo.
Hondo.
Emango.
Mango.
Campo.
Campo.
Lanbat.
Lambat.
Andereño.
Andereño.
Miren.
Miren.
Ere.
Ere.
Hor.
Hor.
Hartu.
Hartu.
Gramática.
Gramática.
R.
R.
Shu.
Shu.
Osho.
Osho.
Aste.
Ashte.
Xavier.
Xavier.
Caixo.
Caixo.
Su.
Su.
Posik.
Posik.
Gaste.
Gaste.
Osho hondo. Osho hondo. That feels all right, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
When you know, it's easy to go,
But you know what? It's good you're doing this because when we were doing it at home, we're probably, in a lot of cases, not pronouncing it correctly.
Right. And it's that's the wonderful thing about Basque. That is not French, that is not English. For the absolute most part, it sounds like how it's written.
Yeah.
There are not silent things. There are not every letter makes a sound. 99% of the time, always.
It's just when you string all of them together. That's
Right,
for
I
sure.
know.
It's very challenging.
Beste chakurbatiku istemiz.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're struggling with the word, it's usually because we're trying to make everything in Basque flows.
Right.
I don't know.
Andereño.
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 Baño.
Baño.
Ña.
Ya.
Peyo.
Bello.
Labur.
Labur.
Yabur.
Labor.
Bacho.
Bacho.
Chiqui.
Chiqui.
Hondo.
Hondo.
Och.
Och.
Locha.
Locha.
Mach.
Mach.
Ach.
Ach.
Eche.
Eche.
Chakur.
Chacun.
Ots.
Ots.
Danza.
Danza.
Gats.
Gas.
When you said peo and yabor, are you
No.
saying it like ya? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Double L is yeah.
Okay.
Peyo.
Okay.
Peyo.
Peyo.
Y doesn't exist
Yabor.
in Basque. They don't use Y. The double L they do use.
Okay.
Bayo. Y is not.
So if you see that, then you make the Y sound.
Always.
Okay.
And what it really shows here, so that BATTO, bacho,
Yeah.
or the double T, TI, it's a, okay. In Egowalde,
Here we go again.
yeah. In Egowalde,
Into the rabbit hole.
on the southern side, for small they say cheeky, cheeky, TXIKI, right? In Iparralde, in the north, they say chipi, with a P, TTIPI, chipi, chipia. That T is like it's like a T, almost a ch. It's like a ch. It's like a chia, chipia. Polite. It comes from French. I mean, I know they make that sound in French. I mean, the ch. And so that it's not bato. That double T makes a sound. It's like chia, right? So it's like bacho. Ocho, as you guys all know, ocho, uncle, is not spelled O-T-X-O. It can be. It's spelled O-T-T-O. It's ocho. Ide ocho. Right?
What does bacho mean?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
So,
The class is free.
I'm not complaining at all. I will look it up.
Yeah, it's like a yeah, it's like not quite a cha, and it's not just a T. It's like a chia.
I am. I'm curious.
Chipia.
yeah, but written here though,
Yeah.
cheeky.
Cheeky,
It's
right?
It's
Cheeky, yeah. But with that double T, yeah. I know. Stick with learning the one, but understand that T, that double T, it means something, right? But no, cheeky. I do my, when I'm there, I'll try to manipulate and
And that means
adapt.
small.
Yeah, small, cheeky. But I just say cheeky, cheeky. Yeah, exactly. Ama, bat,
Bat.
ere,
Ere.
den,
Den.
ipini,
Ipini.
min, oro, on, ukatu, mundu, bai, aita, she, deitu, doi, goiko, gau, naute, neu,
Say.
neu, yeah. So it's not like a eu, it's eu, neu. Yeah. Hey, that's fun. That's myself. No. Yeah. Euskara, esquara. You guys seeing the difference?
Yeah, sure.
Euskara, esquara. Euskara, esquara.
Wow.
Yeah.
Euskara,
Yeah. Euskara,
Euskara.
esquara.
What is that?
What, yeah, which one do you use?
Different pronunciation.
Whatever you
And in Parale, they say esquara. In Egowalde, it's Euskara or Euskera. Gaia, Gawa, Mendia, Atea, Mundua, Mendiatan, Ateakin, Mendie, Atei.
Can you do the is it Ipini? No.
Ate cerdas.
To the doors. Ipini?
No, I think I'm saying it wrong. But the IPINI?
Yeah, Ipini.
Ipini. Okay.
Ipini. Yeah, and I don't know what Ipini is. I think I do.
It's okay. Bacho doesn't come up, so in the dictionary.
Yeah, Bacho.
It didn't come up.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what it
it's
is.
not that important.
Could be a name. I mean, I don't know.
In the
That's
dictionary.
why he doesn't know it.
Exactly, it's not in the dictionary.
It's not in the dictionary.
It's not in the dictionary, doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
If possible, you should have a Basque reader read these words for you.
Good job, go Etienne.
Where's
You're
that
up.
sit? Where's
The
that?
next thing.
Next page.
Yeah.
Right, a nice introduction. What is Basque grammar like? Looking again at the conversation and comparing it with the translation, you may be able to draw some initial conclusions. One of them will certainly be that Basque grammar is very different from English grammar and from the grammar of any other language you might know for that matter. Here are the few things you might notice. Ni Klasea noa. Nundago sure Klasea.
I'm going to. Oh, where?
Right? Since the two English sentences contain the word class, that must be the meaning of Klasea and Klaseta. Now compare lines 8, 10, and 14. Etíen Lekunberri. Etíen. Right? Echea, echeda, and echean must mean house or home. You have probably realized that the words for class and house here consist of a part that remains the same, clase and eche, to which different endings are added, a, ra, an. Are you able to guess the functions of these endings? Right? Ni klasera noa. What is ra? What is an? What is ni klasera? What is klasera? Klasera.
Oh, I
The
know.
class.
I
The
am
class.
going to class.
Yep. So what is klasera?
That class.
That's class.
To class.
To class.
Because I'm going to, right, I'm going
Right,
to.
klasera.
I thought A, the ending of A was.
I thought it was that.
It is. It is.
Going.
So right, you read this, nundago sure
The A is
klasea,
to.
right?
Right.
This is the article. It does mean a or the, right? But
Is your.
the Basque grammar, there's, okay, it's a determiner, I guess. It's required. You can't say nundago sure klasea. You have to say nundago sure klasea. Right? What is echean? What is an?
To home?
No.
No.
At
Echean.
home? No.
I'm at home. I'm in it.
Right, echean.
I'm going home.
No? You're just guessing. What is it?
Wait a second.
What is echean?
Etienne is
It's
my house.
It's very, it is exactly the same as English.
House to go? No.
Echean, an, literally means on, in, or at. Right? Right? In, on, or at. Echean. Right?
So are you going,
Echean
are you
dago.
in home? Are you-
Echean dago is it is at home.
It
Or
is at
he is at home. She is at home.
Yeah, don't sweat it, just write it down.
Okay.
Am I losing you guys?
Well,
No.
okay, so.
I should know this.
The reason you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
told us.
It just hasn't been.
No, yeah, yeah. It's good. I know.
like it's familiar.
Yeah, jump around too much.
No, but you
No,
did
it's
do
good.
this once before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Klasea. This is the difference in English, right? Basque agglutinates. Basque adds things to the end of words. There is not a separate word for to class. The to class means klasea. Clase, class. Klasea, the class. Klasea, to class. Klasean, in class. Klasetik, from class. Klaserensat, for class.
So,
Klasegatik, because of class, or for class again.
so.
Klaseas, clashes, about class, of class.
So you're throwing your preposition.
Absolutely. That's what agglutinating languages do. It adds them to the end of words. And that's why you get these big, long words in Basque. You know?
I don't know.
Oh my god. I gotta clean this thing with alcohol.
Every time?
It'll work.
That's annoying.
I think I used the wrong pen on it.
Yeah, you need something better?
Come on. No, stop that. Thank you for the board.
No, that's not what we're indicating. We're just saying we can return it and get you a better one if you need it.
Just hammer it and send it back.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, yeah, look at that word, huh?
Mila.
Mileshker tortseagatik. This is a prime example of agglutination. Mileshker tortseagatik.
What is it?
What's that mean?
For bringing
Etorri
the,
means
is
welcome.
that 1,000?
Yeah. Many thanks.
1,000 thank yous.
Etorri, ser, you, welcome you, gatik, I don't know.
Is teak from?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Good grief.
Etorri is, what did I say it was, welcome? Etorri
Etorri
means come.
come. Ongi etorri means welcome, right?
Right?
Etorri means come. Ongi means good or well, right? Welcome. Ongi etorri, welcome, right? Mileshker etortseagatik, thank you for coming. Mileshker zure laguntzeagatik. Thank you for your help.
So lagoon is work, lanian,
No.
yes?
Lagoon. Lagoon is friend. Laguna, friend.
How about
Lagunsa is help.
lagoon sa?
Lagunsa,
So your friend,
no, help.
the word friend becomes help.
No, it's just all of the same. Doesn't become. Lagoon means friend.
Okay.
Lagunsa means help. Yeah, they're absolutely similar, but right.
Only your friend would help you.
I mean, whatever, wherever it comes from. Lagoon, Laguna, friend. Lagunsa is help, right? I'm just showing you agglutination. This is
Yeah.
this seagatik means for, right? For, because of, for. Not for as in this is for you, for as in causal. Thank you for coming. Right? There's a difference,
Right.
right? It's easier than English. We use for, right? This class is for you. Thank you for coming. Right? You have to understand the context. You have to understand both of those sentences entirely independently and understand that for operates in a very indefinite manner, right? In Basque, seagatik means for, because of, right? In Zuretzat means for you, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your help. Yeah, thank you for your help.
And the word help is lagunsa.
Lagunsa. Yeah.
And the coming would be
Etor.
etor.
Etorri. Yeah.
Etorri.
Etor is come.
Okay.
Etorri, to come.
Okay.
Or came. It all depends on
You said you're gonna screw us up and
the.
you did.
Yeah. I know, and I don't mean to be.
No, it's great.
I will get better at teaching, I promise.
No,
You're doing a
I
great
think
job.
You're,
Thank
doing good.
you,
You're
thank you.
pushing us.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's trust me. Oh man, they're not this nice at the school. Not by a long shot.
So when they're teaching, are they actually teaching Spanish over there?
When you get to just the absolute minimum highest level, meaning A2 or maybe even A1, right? A0 is nothing. A1 is, more than nothing. A2, they stop teaching from Spanish. And you have to, of course you do ask, but they tell you, they go, no more questions in Spanish.
You have to
Figure out how to ask it in Basque. And I'm teaching you from Basque.
Well, that's good though.
It is good. I'm teaching you it's from Basque, right? And of course it's not like militant. I mean, of course you go and you go, look, I gotta ask in Spanish and it's okay. But for the most part, all the small conversation, all of everything is in Basque, And that's when I really pushed, I had to, because I had no default to Spanish. And so I'm asking questions like, the most wrap-around way to ask a question, because I don't know how to, directly say it. Like, I'm like, that's like this, but the opposite, right? And it's, like.
It's not like you have to translate.
Yeah, no, I'm not there going like, and you want to push yourself, you want to go, no, how do I ask this, right? Yeah, those are just examples of the agglutination. That's what's going on here, right? It's all like that. Right, and now, the equivalence. Dasu, and then comparing, what this is doing is showing you the words, right? It's the same word, clase, eche, right? In every different aspect. To class, at home, to home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again with su, etasu, and then surekin juangones, right? Etasu, it's etasu.
And you.
And you. Surekin juangones.
I go with
Grosh
you.
is a neighborhood. Yeah, so yeah, your house is in Gross, right? Your house is in Gross, no? It really is. Your house is in Gross as well, no? It's ere as well, too. Right? Surekin hongones.
Does it mean I am going with you?
What is it?
I will go with you. Yeah. No, and that's the thing. That's the thing that gets, that you'll start to catch yourself with an English. And English has different grammatical features. We're able to use the habitual tense in the future. And it's correct. Like, I'm going with you. You can say that in the same sense in Basque. surekin ba noa, surekin noa, I'm going with you. But that's meaning right now. Right? To say I will go with you, surekin huango nice.
That says I will go with you?
I will go with you. Huango nice, I will go, surekin with you. And again, it's directly backwards. In these simple sentences, it has an uncanny ability of being directly backwards, it's wild. It doesn't stay like that once you get into more advanced sentences. But this is, I will go with you. You with, go will I. Surekin huango nice. I will go with you. I mean, it's uncanny that it does that. It's wild, huh? Surekin huango nice. Right? Questions about that?
Everything. No, this is good though.
Yeah. And right, this is directly, if you break down every aspect of this, right? But I don't know if you guys recall, this, they are always together. These have to be together. Right? You cannot say huango surekin nice. No. You can say surekin huango nice surekin, right? Huango nice. So this isn't really go will I. That is, if you break down, because that's what you're trying to do, seeing it, what is each. But this is really, this means I will go. Huango nice, right? And so really the Basque sentence structure is with you, I will go. Right? You got to keep these together. That huango nice, it cannot be separated. Right? The only way this isn't huango nice is nirekin huango sara. Can you guys guess what that means? Nirekin huango sara.
With
I will
you.
be going with you.
So if surekin huango nice means I will go with you, nirekin huango sara.
You will come
I
with me.
will.
You will come with me.
Oh.
You will go with me.
You will go.
Nirekin huango sara.
You write that down.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Remember the. Huango nice, huango sara, huango gara, etorri sara, nirekin, zurekin, kotxearekin. What is Juango nice?
I'm going.
I will go.
I will go. What is Juango Sada?
You will go.
You will go. What is Juango Gara?
We will go.
We will go. Etorri Sada. Etorri Sada.
Etorri means come.
Come.
They
with me,
will,
they will-
they will come.
No. Sada. Sada.
You will come with me?
You will come.
You.
What about
You.
Juango?
No,
I am
you
going.
come.
You,
You
come.
come,
Right.
not you will.
This means, did you come?
Did you come?
This is in the past tense. Etorri Sada. The near past tense. Just earlier today. Etorri Sada. You came?
Did you just get here? Like,
No, it's just Basque distinguishes between the near past tense and the far past tense. And the verbs change accordingly. So anything that happened today, earlier today, you use the infinitive, etorri, with nor in the present tense. Sara. Etorri Sara means did you come today? If it was yesterday, etorri sinien. Right? This changes. Forget about that. Etorri Sara. Did you come? And the reason I have these down here is because this is, you can play, plug and play with these.
Okay, so yengo Sara,
You want to go, Sara? You will go,
you will go.
right? What does this go mean?
Will.
Oh, you will.
Will.
Yengo Gara,
We will go.
We.
Juan will go. Right? So how do you say, you will go with me? Okay? Nirekin, with me. Surekin, with you. Kochearekin, with a car. So how do you say, you will go with me?
Sureken,
You will go with me, with me.
Sara
Kin is
Wango
with.
Nirikin.
oh, need it, need
Right.
it.
What'd you say?
I said
Nirikin.
Sara Wango. No, Wango.
Just
Did
like
I say
this.
that?
Just like this.
Okay, so I say Huang. How do I say that word again?
Juan or Juan?
Okay, Juango Sara Nirakin.
You want to go Sada Nirekin? You will go with me.
Sweet.
Right. That is
how'd
okay.
you say it?
Good job.
Poorly, very poorly.
Say it again.
No, she didn't.
Nirikin?
Yowango. That's where it's at. Yowango Sara Nirakin.
Right.
You will go with me. Or, and that's totally beautiful. That's fun. Nirekin, you want to go Sada.
Sara.
Nirakin. Wango Sara.
You want to go Sada. Right? How do you
Right,
say
in Basque, it's okay if you mix it up.
Yeah,
We're
for
still
now
gonna
it's
get
okay.
it.
Absolutely.
But the proper way.
You want to
Nirakin. Wango Sara.
Nirekin, Juan go Sada.
Okay.
Right. But Juan go Sada, Nirekin. Totally fine.
That way they don't know if you've been drinking. You can mix it up.
How do you say, I will go with you? Say it.
Surakin Wango Nice.
Surikin Juan go this. I will go with you. Surikin Juan go this. I will go with you. That make sense?
Right?
That good?
And then in the when that's when they say like in this thing the cochearakin
Koche Arakin.
cochearakin Wango Sara, right? Isn't that
You will go with the
me?
car.
You will go with the car.
Right. Or will you
So
go
that's
with the
why
car?
that goes first in the text.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
How do you say, did you come with a car?
Etorri Sada.
Sureken,
No. Did you come with a car?
oh, did you come?
Did you come with?
Etorri Sada.
Torre Chara Koche Arakin. Exactly. Right. This is a simple demonstration of future tense and the near past tense. Right? Juango nice. Juango Sada, you will go. Etorri Sada, you came. Or Yuan Sada. Yuan Sada, Did you go? Right? Or you went today. Yuan Sada. Did you go?
Or one, gara, did we go?
Yuan Gada. Yuan Gada. Did we go or we went?
We went.
How is that?
Good.
Questions about that?
Yeah. Can we say them once all again?
Yeah. Juango nice.
Juango nice.
Yuango nice.
Juango nice.
Right. And the only reason I do that is because they do pronounce them differently.
Right.
It's the same word, it's the same phrase. You'll hear Juango nice or Jungo nice or Yuango. Yuan. So Juango nice.
Juango nice.
Yuango nice.
Juango nice.
Juango sada.
Juango sada.
Yuango sada.
Juango sada.
Yuango gara.
Juango gara.
Etorri sada.
Etorri sada.
Etorri sada.
Etorri sada.
Nirekin.
Nirekin.
Surekin.
Surekin.
Kochearekin.
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 Notice how everything is sounded out of this. Kochearekin. Right? It's not like kochearekin. Right? No.
Kochearekin.
Kochearekin. With a car. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is all, I'm pulling this right out of this packet. This breakdown of all this stuff.
That's breaking down my head, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's wonderful.
It is
And
good.
I hope it's doing wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you guys a treat. At least it's enjoyable. I'm going to give you the lyrics, and I'll let you rack your brain over how it means what it means. Okay? I'm going to play a song for you guys.
Nice.
A very famous song, one that you should all know. At least you don't have to know what it means, but you can memorize how to sing it. The lyrics are on YouTube with the video, but I'm gonna write them up here, okay? You guys got this?
Yes.
Just, Nirekin is I will come.
Lady King is with me.
With me. Shuriken is what again?
With you. Oh yeah. Egoak ebaki baniskio neria izango zen. Ez zuen alde egingo. Bainan honela ez zen gehiago txoria izango. Eta nik txoria nuen maite. May I use you have your phone?
I do.
How's it going? Good. This is a beautiful, beautiful song by Mikel Laboa. They were still under Franco at this time, and the music that was coming out could not be explicitly pro-freedom, you know, or pro-Basque, right? So it was all very subliminal, right? And this is about a bird, right? And it says, if I cut the wings, it would be mine, but it would no longer be a bird, right? Right, if I cut the wings, it would be mine. But like that, it would no longer be a bird. And I loved the bird, right? It's very, very poetic, right?
Is that Newen? I'm sorry.
Newen.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play it for you, and I encourage you to go play, you know, listen to this all the time if you can. That's how I learned it. It's real big, the lyrics are really basic. It's sung very clearly, it's sung very beautifully, and it's a wonderful song to sing with people.
What's the name of the song?
Choria, chori. Yeah, chori is bird. Chori. And choria, the bird.
Izango zen, ez zuen alde txoria nuen maite, eta nik txoria nuen maite. La 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 la
Yeah, things like that. That's when you know, that's when like studying Basque gains a lot of, you know, relevance, you know, the music, and that's when you hear it spoken in its you know, poetic, you know, side, and it's like, you know, this is an old song, and they will sing this song, you know, at festivals in the street, you know, everybody just singing this song, you know, and it's like, you know, that's when it's really powerful, you know, that's a wonderful thing. Again, you can look up the lyrics, and I knew the song before I knew what it means. The lyrics are very simple, right? But you got all this crazy stuff in here, like Baniskio, right? Isango sen. Isango, that means will be, but sen means was, right? So this is the future tense with the past tense, right? This is a very unique grammatic feature in Basque, right? As zuen, you're saying all this stuff in the past tense. Bainan honela, but like that, right? As sen geyago choria isango, right? Nik choria nuen maite, right? We just went over nik maite saitu, right? Nik maite. This is, you know, and I loved the bird, right? In the past tense. Nik choria nuen maite. So I encourage you to go dig into this, you know. This is good stuff.
Let's do it now.
I'll explain this one. The first one. Egoake baki baniskio means if I had cut the wings. If I had cut the wings, right? And you look at them and go, where is if I, you know, and where is this, right? And this contains if I to the bird, plural wings. This is all of this. Okay? Right? Because egoak, this is 3 words, and this means if I had cut the wings. Right? Egoak, wings, ebaki, cut. Baniskio. This ski is plural. This has to match the plurality of what it's talking about, egoak, right? And this is ba, if, baniskio, me, to the bird's wings, right? It's, yeah, it's incredible stuff, right? And it's beautiful, it's very poetic. Eshkeri kashko etorri agatik.
Say it again?
Eshkeri kashko etorri agatik. Klasea onetara. Thank you for coming to this class.
Etienne,
Bye.
I
Irakaslea.
was
Are you
coming back
gonna
from
get the
deer
boys?
hunting
Okay, get the girls.
2 weeks ago. On the radio, they played this song,
Nah.
Elko.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah,
you're
I was
welcome.
like, no, it was just a regular rock station, but this guy says, you guys have to listen to this song.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
It's Basque, and they played it.
I'm sure, well, he's talking, but he's got more, probably more information for you. He's got you.
How are you? Good, it's nice to see you.
This whole class.
I've been sharing my